Hello, boys and girls, and welcome back to Bethune's Virtual World of Math. This is Mrs. Levine with another important lesson. I will be conducting the video lessons for all third grade math teachers for week 2. Today, I will present week 2, day 3, iReady, lesson 25, titled Draw Scaled Graphs. Let's get started by reviewing our standard and our learning target for this lesson. Today's standard, MGSE3.M3, simply states to draw a scaled picture graph and a scaled bar graph to represent data set with several categories. Solve 1 and 2 step how many more and how many less problems using information presented in the scaled bar graph. Learning target and goals for today will be I can make a scaled picture graph or a bar graph with several categories to represent data. Now, we also want to review our vocabulary words to ensure that we understand this lesson. Number 1, interpret, to be able to explain the information or data. Scale, the number along the bottom of the graph. Number 3, picture graph, a graph used to display, record information/data that uses pictures or symbols to represent data. Number 4, bar graph, shows comparisons between categories of data, and the bars can either go horizontal or vertical. Number 5, key, tells the amount the symbols represent. Number 6, data, information collected. Now, what we need to do is go ahead and dive right into lesson 25, starting with use what you know. In lesson 24, you learn to read picture graphs and bar graphs with scales. In this lesson, lesson 25, you will learn how to draw these graphs to take a look at this problem. Tess has a game with letter tiles. Each tile shows one of the letters, A, C, S, or T. Tess wants to make a picture graph showing the number of tiles with each letter. I want you to take about 3 to 5 minutes and answer questions A through G by using the graph above. Your first question, how many tiles have the letter A? B, how many tiles have the letter C? C, how many tiles have the letter S? D, how many tiles have the letter T? E, how many tiles are there in all? F, suppose Tess uses this key. Each square, which is the symbol, stands for one letter tile. How many pictures will she have to draw on the picture graph? Letter G, explain how Tess could change the key so that she could draw fewer squares, which are the symbols, on her graph, on her picture graph. Take about 3 to 5 minutes and answer these questions. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. How many tiles have the letter A? We should have written 20. How many tiles have the letter C? We should have written 10. How many tiles have the letter S? We should have written 25. How many tiles have the letter T? You should have written 15. Letter E. How many tiles are there in all? Put that there. And a boo-boo. 70. That's what you should have put. And letter F, let's explain. Suppose Tess uses the key. Each square stands for one letter tile. How many pictures will she have to draw on the picture? And that should be 70 as well. And lastly, letter G. If we were explaining, go ahead and erase those, jumped ahead. If we were explaining that answer, explain how Tess could change the key so that she could draw fewer symbols of a square on her picture graph. An acceptable answer you could have written, Tess could use a key greater than 1, then she wouldn't have to draw so many tiles on the graph. Okay, so let's go over all to the next page, which is 261, and let's find out more. Graphs can help you see and understand a lot of data at once. Tess wants to draw a graph to show the letter on the 70 tiles. That is a lot of data to show. So Tess makes the picture graph shown at the right. She uses tile symbols to show the data. Her key shows each square stands for 5 tiles. 5 is a good choice because it's easy to show the tile. So A, as we said, was 20, and C is 10. 25 is, S is 25, and T, which stand for 15, as groups of ding, 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 5. So make each symbol stand for more than 1. That was our answer for our last page. So it makes it easier to show the data has a lot of pieces. And you can say the picture graph uses a scale of 5. Look down there underneath the graph and see where the scale key says each square stands for 5 tiles. You can show the same data on a bar graph. The bar graphs on the bar graph show how many tiles there are with each letter. So the number along the bottom of the graph are called the scale. The scale marks off equal sections, and this bar graph has a scale of 5. Let's reflect. Take about 2 or 3 minutes, or probably just 2. Describe when you would use a scale greater than 1 for a bar graph. I'll be right back. Hopefully, boys and girls, after you've spent a little time reflecting and maybe talking it over with mom, dad, or sisters or brothers, you came up with, to describe when you would use a scale greater than 1 for a bar graph, you possibly could have stated, I would use a scale greater than 1 when the data includes large numbers. Okay, that's pages 260 to 261. We're going to jump on over to 262, and that's learn about it. Draw a scale picture graph. Here we go. Read the problem below. Then explore how to show data in a picture graph. Well, Robert records the different bugs he sees, and he wants to draw a picture graph using the data in the table. How can Robert make a picture graph? So the graph here says bugs Robert saw. That's the title. Type of bugs on this side, number of bugs here. So we have ant, bee, moth, and spider. Well, let's picture it down here. You can use models to show the data. You want to use a scale of 2. Use a little symbol for a bug. Looks like a little circle and some feet. Then draw circles around the groups of 2. So if you notice here, the ants, they have a circle around 2 of the little symbols that represent bugs in each one of the rows for the bugs. Okay, so they pictured it. So you have 2. You're going to skip count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And that's the same amount that you see up here on this graph. Same with the bees. 2, 4. You see the bees represent 4. The moths. 2, 4, 6. They have 6 moths above. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So you have 12. So you're pretty much transferring the information from your picture graph and to make it the same. Okay? Now, let's model it. You can use multiplication to help you show the data. Use a scale of 2. Now, each one of the symbols, this little bug thing, stands for 2 bugs. Okay? 16 divided by 2 equals 8. To show 16 ants, use 8 of the bugs. Okay? 4 divided by 2 equals 2. To show 4 bees, use 2 of the bugs. To show 6 moths, 6 divided by 2 equals 6. To show 6 moths, use what? 3 of the bugs. To show 12 spiders, use 6 of the bugs. 12 divided by 2 equals 6. What I want you to do when you're trying to connect and complete the next page, you're going to use picture it or model it. Okay? Connect it. Now you will solve the problem from the previous page, drawing a picture graph. You're going to scroll back and forth. If you're on the computer or if you've downloaded and printed it, you'll have those pages in front of you. But make sure when you're connecting it, you're going to solve the problems from the previous page, drawing a picture graph. Number 2 says, what is a good title for Robert's picture graph? Write it on the picture graph below. Complete the key for the picture graph. Use the data in the table on the previous page and the key to complete the last 2 rows. I'm going to give you about 2 to 3 minutes, 5 minutes to go ahead and plug in, maybe 6. So go ahead and complete this page, and I'll be right back to go over the next page with you, and then you'll be left all on your own to do independent work. I'm back. So we're going to jump on over to draw a scaled bar graph, read the problems below, and then explore different ways to show the data. Make a bar graph. So Nan keeps track of how many minutes she practiced the guitar each day. She wants to draw a bar graph using the data shown at the right. How can Nan make a bar graph? So she has the information here. Time 1, practice guitar on Mondays, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And she has each time that she practiced 5 minutes, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 25 minutes, and 20 minutes. Picture it. You can use a number line to help you choose the scale. Choose a scale. And the number line below has a scale of ding, 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 5. The points on the number line show the number of minutes Nan practiced on different days. So they start their number line at 0 and go all the way to 40. And you see that they've plotted on each one of the dots for each one of the minutes for each day. 5, then they jump to 15, they jump to 20, they jump to 25, and they jump to 30. So those are all the increments of times on the data that they are using from above. The number line below has a scale of 10. The points on the numbered line show the number of minutes Nan practiced on different days. Some points fall between the numbers on the scale. So they did increments of 10, 20, 30, and 40. And you know using this information up top here, they're not all increments of 10. Some of them are increments of 5. So they fall in between. So in between 0 and 10 would be 5. In between 10 and 20 would be 15. So make sure that you are looking at that and model it. You can also use multiplication to help you make a bar graph. So multiply to find the numbers to write on the bar graph scale. Use a scale of 5. 1 times 5 is 5. 2 times 5 is 10, and so on. The scale numbers will be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 35, 40. Okay, you're going to connect. Using that information on this page right here, you're going to be able to answer these questions. Okay? So now you will solve the problem from the previous page by drawing a bar graph. How do you use the scale to help you draw the bar graph? What is a good title for Nan's bar graph? So plug all these answers in and make sure you're using the information from above as you do so. These are all independent assignments at this point. So you're going to complete pages 260 to 269. You're going to also complete this try it. Use what you just learned to solve the problem and show your work. You have a journal or you have separate scratch paper that you're going to record this on, or either you have a printed copy of the packet. So each one of these pages. Now remember that I've uploaded a PowerPoint. If you need some walking through and some more explanation, it is uploaded there. You also have the vocabulary page that's uploaded in Teams, and you also have all of the extra packets that are able and ready to aid and assist you with completing this assignment. Okay, boys and girls, let me know if you need any more assistance. I'll be available Monday through Friday from 12 to 2. Happy learning, third graders. Miss you guys.